Greetings! Ruuj Rubellite here, and today is going to be the start of a new series that I'm going to be doing, which is the Story Mode Stage 8 Budget Decks. So, quite a few people have been asking on how to beat the Stage 8 bosses in the Story Mode for Shadowverse, and I have made two decks, one for Forest and one for Shadow, that seem to work fairly well. And I have beaten both Nexus and the Shade Shadow first tries with both of these. So we are going to start with the Forestcraft deck. And we are going to quickly back out of here. I can actually show the deck before we begin. There you go, Budget Forest. I have the following limitations in this. That is, only one gold card is allowed per deck, and only one legendary is allowed per deck. This will make it a pure budget deck, allowing people with around 4,000 vials to craft it, provided they pull the cards, and they could even swap out the legendary if they don't pull it. So this is the budget Forestcraft deck that I specifically made to be played against Nexus. It is a fairly heavy control in the form of you have Entangling Vines. I rated this card very poorly when the expansion was announced. However, this card is a pure control card, and you need to control Forest in order to really do well against Nexus. So this card is included to help counter Otomi, and it allows you to trade into cards that, like the 1/2s and the dragons that pop out of Wyrmspire for free. And at 5 mana, you can just destroy the card instead. Basically, it's a dance of death. I have Elfchild May, deal 1 damage to random enemy follower, helps get rid of the tokens. Water Fairy, Fairy Whisper for Fairy Generation to help combo with Elfguard. Elfguard is basically in here as the cheap version for Ancient Elf. So she gains +1/1 and Ward if at least 2 other cards were played this turn, which basically turns her into a 2/4 with Ward, and evolved she would be a 4/6 with Ward, which is very good against the token heavy spam. Crystalia Lily, this is a new card from the expansion, and I rated her at the start very poorly, but over time I realized just how strong of a card she really is. So her effect is Enhance 6, transform an enemy follower into a snowman, and a snowman is a 1/1 token. So this is a hard removal on 6 mana that does require an evolve point to kill if she is the only card on the board, but it does remove a very dangerous target. It does not target amulets, and one of the major threats is Wyrmspire, but as long as you can control the dragons, you don't need to worry about killing the amulet. I have 1 copy of Archer. I tried multiple copies of Archer, but it really didn't work out too well. And the 1 copy of Archer allows you, if you actually have this, you could play it with fairies, because they usually don't trade, unless it's favorable trades. So you could play this with your fairies and start pinging up the tokens. And the legendary I chose to put in is Ancient Elf. This card is very difficult to remove for the Nexus, unless they play Otomi. And even with Otomi, you could just lance it and then Ancient Elf slam into it. 3 copies of Elemental Lance. This card is a little bit underrated, but it's not a good card. It's not terrible, but it's not good. But it's the only other removal card that Forest really has. So it's in here for 6 damage. This can help you get rid of the pesky dragons that pop out, or just remove tokens, like 1/2s that you can't remove very easily with your fairies. 1 copy of Rose Gardener to return Otomi back to their hand. 1 copy of Elven Princess Mage for the 0-cost fairies. 2 copies of Yule the Ancient. This card is very strong against tokens, especially 1/1 tokens. You can kill 2 1/1 tokens or 1 1/2 token. A lot of people seem to forget this card exists for Forestcraft. It's a very good card. Pegasus Elf, I have 2 copies, and Pegasus Elf is change an enemy follower's defense to 1, and if you evolve it, you can kill the target, basically, because deal 1 damage to an enemy follower. This is pure removal, and removal is what you need. So I have Dance of Death in there too. Standard. Magna Botanist is a free card, so I put it in here as part of the limitations of the budget. I haven't really played her, but she's there to help you with trading and controlling the board until Nexus runs out of cards in their hand. Fairy Beast for healing. And the gold card I chose was Mahi's. I thought about Elf Knight Cynthia, but Mahi's just seems to be all around better. If you can combo this with Elven Princess Mage, this is a turn 6 board clear with Ward. Otherwise, it is a turn 8 board clear if you can survive that long. And if you can survive up until turn 8, you've probably won the game. And that is the budget forest. Let us take it and defeat Nexus then. We are going first. Lots of removal, don't need entangling vines. Right now, it's a little better. Keeping Sylvian Justice, it's Fairy Generation, and a little bit of removal. And we got Elf Guard. And we draw into Ancient Elf. Now, I killed the card because Otomi is a very viable threat right now. See, this would be 6. It would still get killed by Otomi. I think I'm just gonna play the Elf Guard. Go for the 1-phase damage. This way, that she still has to play quite a few tokens, and now I could actually Rose Gardener Otomi back if needed. The rousing step. Still a favorable trade. So here I can actually afford the Rose Gardener, since I have Crystalia Lily in my hand to deal with a Tomim. And here he can't actually play the card, so we are safe. And as long as we just simply go face, he has to trade. I'm actually going to kill one though. I think I'm gonna kill this one. Get the extra fairy. This is very good for us. And as you can see, she used all of those, but the Tomim gets the 2-1 and the card draw, but the card draw isn't that bad. And now we just deal with the card, and we could even just Pegasus Elf it too. This is the better tempo play, so change this to 1. Slam that. Slam this. Go face. And play the fairy. We will save the 2 fairies for the heal. As you can see, the main point of this deck is to control the board and try to basically just wear them down. Alright, so now we're gonna go for the Fairy Beast for the heal. The only problem that I have seen is that you run out of card draw. But as long as you have removal tools, it's fine. So I'm saving my Crystalia Lily and Dance of Death for the hard removal against the cards that are actually most threatening. And we go face here. And that's good for us. And this should be game, because there are no wards. And there you have it. So even with the late Otomi, as long as you are able to control the board and keep the tokens cleared for the most part and force them to play multiple tokens at once and clog up the board, then you just simply go face and the AI does a very unfavorable trade. Since the Nexus AI doesn't seem to use evolve points to help trade if the follower can already attack. So, I hope this video helps people with building a deck that can help defeat Nexus with Forestcraft. The general idea is to control the board to prevent Atomi from being a problem, and then actually dealing with Atomi when the number of tokens they can play per turn is uncontrollable. Cards like Crystalia Lily, Dance of Death, even Entangling Vines, Pegasus Elf, etc. So, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time, hopefully, with Swordcraft, which should be pretty simple. Take care.